Welcome to Marketplace Finds, where we show off some crazy and interesting cars for sale, judge what we think of the price, then order it in our tier list. Alright folks, strap in, because I don't even know what I'm looking at here. This started life as a 1974 Volkswagen Beetle, but somewhere along the line, someone decided to play Dr. Frankenstein with an angle grinder and a bike. The end result? A three-wheeled abomination that looks like it should come with its own Florida Man news headline. From the back, it's still kind of a Beetle with the classic bug butt vents and those tiny little fenders, but swing around the front and suddenly it's a full-on touring motorcycle welded to the body, and we all know under that pile of diamond plating are some rusty welds holding on for dear life. As for the paint job that gives Midlife Crisis Carnival, you can tell it's starting to lose the battle against the sun and will need a touch-up soon. The seller wants $8,000 for the science experiment gone wrong, so please just go buy a Honda Goldwing with a trike kit instead. Here we've got a 1978 Monte Carlo that's basically the automotive version of Too Much Is Never Enough. The paint job is wild, the hydraulics are ready to bounce, and the interior looks like it was sponsored by a Velvet Factory liquidation sale. First off, that paint looks like there's 27 layers of candy, patterns, and metallics that probably took an entire summer and a couple buckets of Modelo to finish. The seller says there are some chips, but damn if it doesn't look well done in the photos. Step inside, and it's like you just got swallowed by a velvet grape. It's literally 99% plush sofa your grandma would be jealous of. Other than that, it's got the original dash and a chrome chain steering wheel straight out of every Lowrider magazine from 1994. The seller's asking for $18,000, although it's very different than when it came out of the factory. It's really not a terrible price. For once we have a giant anime girl that isn't plastered on a Nissan 350Z. This time it's weirdly been placed on a 2002 Ford E350. Now trust me, I tried to find whoever the waifu on the sides is, but I had no luck. So if any basement dwellers could help me out in the comments, I'd appreciate that. But between the giant suggestive lady, the spider webs, and of course the 69, this van looks like it'd be full of body pillows. But prepare your eyes because it's a lot worse. There's an assortment of random clothes, no insulation, and a nasty carpet from grandma's smoking room. It's less cargo van and more set piece from a low budget crime documentary. The front seats are surprisingly not too bad for a van that's done 280,000 miles. For the $4,000 asking price, it's not crazy for an E350 workhorse if you don't mind being judged every second you're on the road. This is a 1951 Ford shoebox that the seller claims is totally customized, which, let's be real, is code for I may have ruined a classic car with questionable mods. The paint job's honestly not bad, being repainted in black with metallic gold flames all over. It's the kind of paint job that makes you want to wear cuffed jeans and smoke unfiltered Lucky Strikes just to match the vibe. It's got other great modifications such as shaved door handles and Frenched headlights, but that's right about where the good seems to end, as for some reason they decided to weld a chrome xylophone DeSoto grill onto the front end, some fake lake pipes, and the world's biggest aerial hole. The interior is quite nice with all new upholstered seats and roof liner. Another sad negative is that the banana shifter doesn't even come with the sale. But holy hell, I threw up a little when I saw the leopard print door cards that the seller was all too happy to mention they did themselves. And if by this point you think that's not too bad, well, if you're a Ford purist, you might want to skip ahead, as under the hood, which we got no photos of, the seller did the cardinal sin of putting a Chevy 350 into it. For the $13,500 asking price, it's honestly not terrible and still quite a nice looking car, just with some interesting tastes mixed in. This is a 1987 Ford Bronco, but not just any Bronco. This thing has been dipped in freedom, rolled in bald eagle feathers, and pressure washed with Bud Light. Nothing is more American than this paint job that not only has the stars and stripes, but it's literally been signed by members of the armed forces. It's rocking 37-inch mud tires because apparently freedom only comes in XXL. And that push bar up front, that's not for protection, that's for clearing commies out of the left lane. Step inside, and the patriotism kind of gives way to project truck reality with rips in the seats and random pieces of trim in the back seats. It's really not that terrible though, if you don't mind the very 80s burgundy colour that really just needs a good hoover. Under the hood, it's got a 347 stroker backed up by a monster transmission that'll get you across the country faster than the IRS can audit you. But if that wasn't American enough, the air cleaner is literally a Samuel Adams beer can. They're only asking for $5,850, and even though it needs some TLC, that price is an absolute steal. Next up, we've got a 1960 Volkswagen rocking a Myers-Manx inspired fiberglass body. Clearly, Barney the dinosaur was consulted on the paint job because this thing is purple enough to make kids start singing I love you. Luckily, it's actually done really well, and if that shade doesn't stop you in your tracks, the surfboard bolted to the roof definitely will. From the front you're greeted by chrome eyeballs, a pair of yellow fog lights, and a dainty little bumper bar, because let's be real, old fiberglass holds up in a crash about as well as paper mache. Move to the side and it looks like a hot rod that forgot its doors, but in all honesty, having as much airflow as an 80-year-old after Taco Bell would be a bonus in the heat. Out back, the flat 4 raw engine hangs out like it's trying to get a tan of its own, paired with an exhaust that bends more times than a dollar bill in a strip club. Inside, it's bare bones minimalism, with 2 grey seats that look like they were stolen from a church basement, a Momo steering wheel, and of course, the must-have accessory for any beach cruiser, a shell necklace dangling proudly from the mirror. Joking aside, I've definitely gone way too hard on this car. I probably wouldn't pay the $11,000 asking price, but it's not too far from what I'd expect it to sell for. This is a 1984 Buick Regal that sat dead in a garage for 6 years, and instead of restoring it, somebody dragged it out and said, you know what this needs? A 383 stroker, 30-inch clown shoes, and enough TVs to make it look like a parole office lobby. The first thing you see are those 30-inch Diablo wheels. Those things are so big, the car now qualifies as low-income housing. They've got more spokes than the Tour de France and probably cost more than the entire Buick itself. The Home Depot orange faded paint job isn't helping it either, especially the weird primer grey hood and top. The interior is exactly what you'd expect. Forget clean leather, you get stained and ripped cloth seats that have soaked up more sweat than a Planet Fitness towel rack. Special mention to the random assortment of bolts sitting in the center console too, because you know that's a good sign. At least the passengers get these 2 airplane looking TV screens to distract them from the state of the interior. The seller is after $10,000, and that's really not a bad price, and could be worth turning it back into its glory days. Unlike most of the rusty and crusty Volkswagen vans, we see this one hasn't had a backyard spray paint job and is more of a rolling piece of art. That's because it was a collaboration built between Market Studios, The Grateful Dead, and Donut Media. It's a 69 Volkswagen T2 bus that was given a second lease in life, not only getting this awesome paint job, but rust removal, bodywork, and a fresh paint job underneath the murals. Speaking of the murals, the whole bus is covered in the classic Grateful Dead artworks, such as the dancing bears and skeletons, and thankfully no hand-painted free candy signs. Inside, the clean theme just goes into overdrive. There's custom bear upholstery, rainbow fabric, shag fur panels, and a literal green turf floor, with another 3 seats for your buddies. Best of all though, is that it retains the rooftop tent, so you can hide away if the acid hits a bit too hard. Although there's no pictures of the engine, it does run and drive smoothly, so it's ready to go. The asking price is $24,500, and after looking at some others up for sale, this is honestly a pretty good price. It's been a little while since we've had an El Camino pop up, and this one looks like it rolled straight out of a Florida Facebook group where the comment section is half arguments about paint codes and half people trying to sell pitbull puppies. The El Camino is already one of those cars people love to argue about. Is it a car? Is it a truck? Is it mullet transportation perfected? But this 1982 example takes it one step further. The first thing you notice is the Chameleon paint, which shifts color depending on the light, like a rolling redneck version of a mood ring. And then there's the 22-inch wheels that removes any sort of truck capabilities it even had in the first place. Just to top it off, the owner just had to hit the trifecta and install Lambo doors, because nothing says my life is together. Quite like opening the door of your El Camino straight into the sky while your neighbor just tries to mow their lawn in peace. Unfortunately, there's no price for this rig, but whatever it was is probably too much. This next car is something that makes the Adams family look like they daily drive a Camry. It's a 1973 Cadillac Hearse, which is one of the only vehicles that could make you late to your own funeral. But this isn't just any hearse, it's been given a full custom treatment with flames, mags, a matching coffin, and enough creepy details to make even Marilyn Manson say, "Tone it down, dude." I'm not even going to hate on the paint job, because flames on hearses go together like goth kids and chain wallets. Even the giant polished mag wheels look good too. But let's be real, they're trying their best to distract you from the fact that this thing is longer than your landlord's list of excuses. If you didn't notice already, there happens to be a creepy mannequin in the passenger seat, because nothing screams "buy me" like having Leatherface's cousin joining you on a ride. And if you thought that was bad, check out the plastic corpse you get in the coffin as a bonus. The rest of the interior is honestly in great shape, just with the leather seats getting a few creases but no rips yet. Under the hood, you've got a classic Cadillac V8, big, heavy, and probably sounds like Dracula, clearing his throat every time you start it up. But let's be real, you don't buy this for speed. The seller was after $12,000 and has already been snapped up probably by a Hot Topic manager who just got their tax return. Oh boy, this next one might ruffle a few feathers. It's a 1993 RX-7 wearing a Pandem body kit that's got RX-3 inspiration that you'll either love or absolutely hate. Now I'm not gonna lie, this kit to me feels like when a celebrity goes and gets plastic surgery and comes out looking like melted cheese. And I'm not talking about the iconic RX-3 nose cone. That part honestly looks great. It's more so the rest of the kit that loses a lot of people. The extreme wide body is just excessive and ends up taking away from the classic RX-7 shape, while also looking nothing like what the original RX-3s looked like. I have to say though, this one is done super well. The paint lines and stickers are absolutely clean, and the slammed look is tough. Pop the hood and you've got that rotary engine we all love, sitting there like a ticking time bomb fueled by Redbull and premix. The interior looks great with some carbon bits where the usual parts crack in the sun, a Momo steering wheel, and some nice Recaros. The seller wants $60,000, which is wild but not shocking in rotary land, and this is a clean car with a kit that alone is $10,000 before any fitting or paint, so I wouldn't be surprised surprised if someone goes for it. Here we go. The Florida Engineering Department has struck again. What you're looking at is a 1997 International truck cab welded onto a custom pontoon boat. Honestly, it looks like Optimus Prime lost a bet and had to do boat duty. The whole thing is bright blue, complete with a bimini top and some fence railings from Home Depot's garden section. The seller proudly says it's guaranteed to cause a scene on land and water. Yeah, no kidding. You're basically driving a school bus that decided to cosplay as a barge. Powering this aquatic monstrosity is a 150cc two-stroke, which seems pretty decent. Alright, joking aside, it is a pretty cool build and would be a great time heading out on the water on this beast. Now, I'm not that knowledgeable on boat prices, but the seller was asking for what I thought was an insane $25,000, but to my surprise has already sold. This right here is a 2008 Mini pickup, but not just any Mini. This was born as one of those Redbull cars, the ones blasting free cans at college campuses like mobile ADHD delivery systems. Except this one unfortunately doesn't come with the giant can on the back. It does, however, still have the dual coolers and an ice maker built into the bed. This thing's basically a frat house utility vehicle. The panels are surprisingly clean for something that probably got harassed by caffeine addicts on the road every 10 minutes. The seller wants $10,500 for it, which is pretty insane considering it's just a Mini with some fridges in the back. Alright, buckle up, because this thing is the Tesla of the retirement village. This is the 2024 club car, which according to the seller is street legal, but in the same way those scooters that top out at 30 are also street legal. We all know that table in the middle is never going to see a beer at a golf course too. It's destined to be the mobile mahjong station, so the rich oldies can eyeball any car they don't recognize coming into the neighborhood. So, for the just over $26,000, just go buy a brand new economy car instead. I'm going to keep this next one short and sweet, because the photos the seller uploaded are worse than my 20-year-old Nokia. It's a 1998 Honda Accord that has been slammed with every single early 2000s mods you can think of. We've got butterfly doors, a ridiculous speaker setup, but best of all, a green and red flamed out paint job. Whoever did this was balling back in the day and apparently spent over $50,000 on it, which back then was a whole house. Now they're after $7,000, but seeing as it's been sitting for 10 years, I'd be cautious. Here's how the final tier list ended up. Let us know what we got right, what we got wrong, if there's anything you change around. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We just started posting more on TikTok and Instagram, so make sure to follow us there. Right now, TikTok's only showing us to Australia, New Zealand and Canada, so if you're from America or England or anywhere else, make sure to go watch us there. Otherwise, thanks for watching, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.